Hey there guys, you're here with Bo and thank you for tuning in to another video. Now today we're going to be covering an exchange between Dr. Adam Back, who is the founder of Blockstream, the founder and CEO of Blockstream, who is the inventor of Hashcash, a proof-of-work mining system, and who was also one of the few people who was referenced in the Bitcoin white paper by Satoshi himself, between him and Vitalik Buterin, one of the co-founders of Ethereum. Now it's important to cover this exchange because what it actually shows is some of the history of crypto and some of the sentiment, and it's going to give us an insight as to where things may be going in the future. And I'm going to lead into my thoughts and opinion as to how Bitcoin, I believe, is going to be taking more and more of a dominant role in relation to its extensibility, which is its ability to have additional applications and features built on top of it, and how that may be affecting Ethereum and the rest of the cryptocurrency market as we move forward. So definitely not to be sensationalist. This video is actually to give some insight into some of the history and context around these two highly influential figures, how it relates back to Bitcoin and crypto, and where things may be going from here. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Stick around and let's get into the video. So welcome back guys, thank you for tuning in. You are here with Bo Stoner from Cryptocurrency Australia. Now, what we've had just in the past 24 hours is an exchange between Dr. Adam Back, arguably, other than Satoshi, one of the most influential contributors to Bitcoin in the world, and Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum, the world's second highest, most valuable cryptocurrency. Now, before we get into this exchange, let's provide some context around who these two figures are for those of you who may not know. First of all, just starting off with Adam Back. Adam Back was a cypherpunk. He was part of the cypherpunk movement. There was around 70 or so cryptographers on a mailing list that would exchange different encryption ideas, different software tools, and were trying to come up with different ways to provide liberties through encryption and coding to people using the internet. He's also the inventor of something called Hashcash, which is used in Bitcoin mining, and he is one of the few people actually referenced in the Bitcoin white paper. So here's his Wikipedia. Just a very brief overview. In 1997, Dr. Adam Back invented Hashcash, the proof-of-work system used by several anti-spam systems, and I believe this was actually used in an email system prior to Bitcoin. A similar system is used in Bitcoin. Hashcash has also been used in a number of other protocols, such as combating blog spam and defending against namespace pollution. So we come over here and look at the Bitcoin white paper. We can actually see here reference number 6, Adam Back, Hashcash, a denial of service countermeasure, with a link to hashcash.org. So Dr. Adam Back is no small figure. He's arguably one of the most well-known, influential, but also one of the biggest contributors to Bitcoin's development and ecosystem over the years. And I'm going to show you why that is in just a moment. But on a personal note, if you've ever listened to Dr. Adam Back's interviews or discussions he's done, he's an incredibly humble man, considering how significant he is. Well-spoken, humble, and just overall seems like a really good person, to be honest. And when we come over here, we look at Blockstream. Now, Blockstream is actually was founded by Dr. Adam Back, and he's the founder, but he's also the CEO. Now, Blockstream is a company exclusively building products around Bitcoin, using Bitcoin's extensibility. Extensibility mean a particular protocol or code base can be built on. And over the past 2 years, Blockstream has just gone from strength to strength. They have ramped up the amount of products that can be done on Bitcoin. And honestly, it is extremely exciting. And I believe as Blockstream gains more strength and as products become more used, I do believe that actually it's going to be a direct threat to many existing cryptocurrency protocols out there. So just a couple that you may know of, or some significant. Blockstream actually provide data services to ICE. So in partnership with Intercontinental Exchange, Blockstream's cryptocurrency data feed delivers best-in-class real-time and historical cryptocurrency exchange data, supporting a long and growing list of cryptocurrency and fiat pairs. The feed is available to traders via ICE Data Services consolidated feed. So these guys are working with really, really big players in relation to their products, but arguably one of the most important is Liquid. So built upon Elements, and Elements is like some coding tools built specifically for Bitcoin by Blockstream. The Liquid network is a settlement platform for exchanges, brokers, and market makers. It enables fast and private Bitcoin transactions between its members, as well as the issuance of digital assets, such as tokenized fiat and tokenized securities. So this is huge right here, okay? The issuance of digital assets. So essentially, they've built a side chain network that allows something called a federated peg. It allows Bitcoin to come into a smart contract and another asset to be issued out. So the asset that is issued out, whether it be a cryptocurrency security or some other kind of token, is actually backed by Bitcoin in a smart contract. Now, this directly threatens many protocols out there who are building decentralized applications and launching their own tokens, such as ERC20, because people can use the Bitcoin code base to issue their own assets. So this is incredible because Bitcoin's code base, its protocol, is the most trusted, it's the most valuable, it's the most well known, and it's had the most developer mindshare contributed to it. And just before we finish, just a couple of other really important ones are things like the Lightning Network. So Blockstream developed something called C Lightning, which is a set of Lightning tools that allow developers to build Lightning applications or LApps on the Lightning Network. And another significant one, which I've covered in a video before, and I'll put a link down in the description below, is Blockstream Satellite. So Blockstream have currently got, I believe, 4 different satellite frequencies, so people can actually run a Bitcoin full node using about a couple $100 worth of equipment set up on their roof. Now, this has all been done for the benefit of the Bitcoin community. Right, so we don't have to pay for this, other than the materials required to set up a dish. Blockstream has provided this to us out of good faith. So, I mean, this shows you the ethics and ideals behind Blockstream and Dr. Adam Back and his team. These incredible products that are being built on Bitcoin for the good of the community and the world. And I think that's amazing. Now, moving on to Vitalik Buterin. Many of you are going to know who Vitalik is, but if you don't, he is the co-founder of Ethereum. He's the most significant figure for Ethereum. I believe he's currently also their chief scientist. But what people may not know is Vitalik has actually been involved with Bitcoin for a long time, and he was the co-founder of Bitcoin Magazine. Now, he was also a writer. So over here on Bitcoin Magazine, here's a list of Vitalik's articles that he wrote a number of years ago before he launched Ethereum and became heavily involved. And he actually contributed a lot to the Bitcoin space as well. So not only did he write a lot about Bitcoin, but he also co-founded Bitcoin Magazine, which a lot of people read and provides a great source of information around Bitcoin for the community. And here we can see one of the articles here, Sidechains, the how, the challenges, and the potential. And this is back in 2014. He was actually talking about Dr. Adam Back's Liquid project, which is this one here that we were just talking about with Blockstream, which is now gone live. It went live last year. So Vitalik has been a huge contributor to Bitcoin as well, but obviously is mainly focused on Ethereum now. Some other things about Bitcoin as well. About Vitalik as well. He was also he was awarded the Thiel Fellowship by Peter Thiel. Some other interesting details about him, but probably not too relevant for this discussion. So hopefully that's a good context around who Vitalik Buterin is and who Dr. Adam Back is. Now to get into this exchange that's transpired. So it's coming here from this guy called Dan Heddle. Be sure to go and give Dan a follow at Dan Held. And he says here that FYI, before founding Ethereum, Vitalik put considerable effort in 2013 into trying to convince investors to fund him in constructing a quantum computer to mine Bitcoin. Note that no quantum computers able to solve practical problems are verified as existing as of early 2017. Vitalik responds, I never tried to convince anyone to give money to me or to any entity I had a financial interest in for that project. I recommend you reevaluate your model of me. The process may even convince you Ethereum is interesting and worth your time to explore and participate in. And Adam responds, regardless, Dan Held is correct. It doesn't matter who received funds. Proposal was obviously bogus to anyone with any comp sci knowledge. Vitalik was promoting it and should have been obvious to him that it was bogus. He was presenting detailed but confused argument selling. Vitalik responds, proposal was obviously bogus to anyone with any comp sci knowledge. I actually still disagree. We don't even know that for sure. Know that P equals MP, and P equals MP would be even more powerful than efficient quantum on classical simulation. Adam responds, and this is where it starts getting pretty technical. Seriously, dude, quantum is fundamentally more powerful. You can't make a simulation of a fundamentally higher capability per step quantum computer execute faster on a von Neumann machine. Really, what that hypothesis is a faster classical algorithm for SHA-256 mining, definitionally. Making a quantum simulator won't find it for you if it even usefully exists, which would require SHA-256 to be broken by a massive margin. The defects are found by mathematical cryptanalysis as evidenced by SHA-1, MD5, MD4 attack history. Vitalik responds, do you agree that if someone discovers a constructive proof of P equals MP tomorrow, that would break SHA-256 by a massive margin, and without algorithm-specific cryptanalysis? Do you agree there's at present no mathematical proof that such a constructive proof does not exist? And then he says here, I'm not saying at all that myself shilling for that specific team was anywhere remotely close to a good idea, only challenging the assertion that one could have known that there were lies because what they were trying to do was literally mathematically impossible. Adam responds, to most tech observers, it is comp sci perpetual motion level magical thinking you're still doubling down on. I wonder where humanity ends. Idiocracy. If such things get 100x funding versus world-class engineering with rock-solid due diligence, actually innovating the bleeding edge. Sorry to be blunt, but these times of nonsense projects and the ICO craze following that, most of which are down 99% without building anything, or high school science project plus billion-dollar marketing actually a menace to human progress. Vented. Back to being constructive. And someone responds here. Discussions with Adam always ends with hostility and insult when the other party is not a core Bitcoin developer. Could say the same about Peter Todd and G. Maxwell. He's talking about Greg Maxwell. Adam responds, figured I would get called toxic, but deflecting technical ridicule for funding idiocracy level stuff is actually toxic. Wasting billions of human value and potential over the last few years is a serious problem. They were told about the defects privately first. So, it's pretty interesting. And you actually see this video here apparently where Vitalik was presenting something on this quantum computing and Bitcoin. So it is there, but an important point to note is that he was actually 19 years old when he did this. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was 19, I was a goof. I was a total doofus. I was making bad decisions. I made plenty of bad decisions when I was that age, and I don't think I fully matured in terms of my long-term thinking until I was maybe 22, 23 years old. It took me, through a lot of learning to get a better grasp on the world. So, I don't think hammering him at being 19 years old is probably fair, but I also see from Adam's perspective, given his prestige in cryptography, how he probably would have seen something like this from a mile away. But regardless, I don't want to get into semantics of the argument. That's not the point of what I'm trying to highlighting. What I'm actually trying to highlight is Adam's main comment on the ICO craze. So just to read through it again, sorry to be blunt, but these types of nonsense projects in the ICO craze following that, most of which are down 99% without building anything, or high school science project plus billion-dollar marketing, actually a menace to human progress, vented back to being constructive. What I want to highlight there is what he's actually talking about is how if Ethereum facilitated the project, the way it was built, was the facilitator for hundreds, if not thousands of projects and the ICO craze. Now, it's interesting how my own perspective has evolved over the years, over two years of being in this, and how I view things. What we're seeing and what we've seen is now Blockstream have developed products that allow for many of these systems, many of these ideas, many of these products to be built on the Bitcoin code base. So Ethereum kind of launched prior to these products being ready, prior to Bitcoin and Blockstream having the products to facilitate the technologies to be built out on the Bitcoin code base. And the argument is, well, Bitcoin can do all of these things. Why do we have this ICO mania that was facilitated by Ethereum when all of that effort, all that money, not even all that money, but all that effort, all that money, all that attention could have remained on Bitcoin which is still the one true numero uno coin, and we could have had far more progress had it have been directed into Bitcoin rather than Ethereum and other projects. Now, I truly do think that Blockstream's products are going to take more and more market share over the years. Why? Because the people working on these products are some of the best, if not the best, developers in the world. Not to discount Ethereum or Vitalik's own ability or his team's own ability in any way. Extremely smart people as well. But Bitcoin has had the most eyes on it. It's had the most attention in terms of the energy that's gone into it. And these new products are really going to push the boundaries of Bitcoin's code base extensibility and what can be built on it. So it's going to be interesting to really see how things play out. And look, I have respect for both Vitalik and Adam. I think what Blockstream has done is absolutely incredible. And it's just going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So guys, look, I hope you found that video informative. I hope you found learning a bit about the context of these two individuals and how that ties into this discussion. If you liked the video, likes are always really, really appreciated. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification so you're notified of future videos. Leave me a comment and tell me what you thought. Is anything you got out of that discussion or that exchange between the two that I didn't interpret or cover? Really interested in hearing your thoughts and opinions. Just want to say thanks again for watching, guys. My name's Bo, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.